Hello people! Today we're doing a set I'm calling Power Up for the energizing colors, and I have prepped some short coffin nails. We're going to do some shorties. This ended up being a set that I kind of threw together on the fly because the one I wanted to do this week, my materials haven't come in yet, so we had to make up something real quick. So here we go. I decided to do neon because I haven't done a neon set this summer. Well, I kind of did. The hibiscus one was kind of neon-y, but anyway, I'm going with this neon. And we're going to be doing ombre on 2 of them, and the rest will just be what they are. Okay, and here we go. I'm using my wispy ombre brush for this. I call it the wispy one because it's got really extra long bristles that are sticking out. And frankly, this was a really cheapo one that came in a set of brushes that I got off of Ali. And I like it. I like it a lot better than the squared off ones that tend to be more stiff and take too much at one time. So if I'm doing ombre, I mostly am using this one now. So you can see how long the bristles are when I'm not doing it. But we're just going to go back and forth until we get a color blend that we're happy with. And obviously I've sped this video up to double time. Pretty much most of this video is going to be in double time, because there was a lot of stuff that I know you guys have seen me do a million times, and I don't think you need to watch me do it in my normal slow-mo that I work at. Now, this being the first layer, you really don't have to spend a humongous time on the ombre because you're going to go over it again anyway with the second coat, but there we are so far. In we go. Okay, I have cured those, moving on to the second coat. Boy, I wish I could work at that speed. This set took me about an hour and a half to do, in case anybody's wondering. And I was trying hard not to get gel polish all over my fingers because obviously I'm not gloved up here. I only had about a half an hour to get the base colors on these, so I didn't bother to glove. I don't like to put gloves on if it's going to be half an hour or less, because it seems to me it's like a waste of the gloves because you can't reuse them, especially when I've been in them, because they're full of sweat and disgustingness. Oh boy, I feel like I got a frog in my throat today. And we just keep on blending and blending until you get a blend you're happy with. And the second coat of this one. Now, I have seen people doing ombres many different ways. Some of them are really like convoluted and seem like a lot of extra work, and you pretty much get the same result. So this is the easiest way I have found to do it. And since I'm lazy, then I'm going to always go with the easiest way. Now I'm going to see how I'm like kind of smushing them together a little bit first. That'll just give you a little bit of a head start on your blending to get the third color that's going to end up being in between the blue and the green. And when I turn over, flip it around one way to the other, then you're then putting the green into the blue and the blue into the green. If you get too much polish on the ombre brush, you want to wipe it off. And then just keep a blending until you're happy. This blue and green one gave me a little trouble. Well, for one thing, the blue is a Beetles and the green is a Makartt polish, so they didn't totally want to play nice. You'll notice on the yellow and green blend, they blend nice and smooth, and everything was beautiful because were both Makartt colors. So unfortunately, I don't have a neon blue in the Makartt, so this blue is kind of my go-to for neon when I need blue. Okay, now we're going to go on with the base coat. Now, being that this is a Model 1's base coat and we're using other brands of polish on the nails, you see how it's kind of beading up and separating? They don't like to play nice together, but we're going to make it work. If you brush it enough, it will sort of smooth out, but for what we're doing right now, it doesn't have to be totally smooth. Now, I've got these little neon rings. I used these a couple of years ago on an orange and yellow set. Well, now I'm doing them again, but with a little bit of a twist on these. Now, I did all of these on here with the yellow. I don't know why I didn't do blue and green and switch to the opposite color area. That's what I ended up doing on the yellow and green ombre one, but for some reason I didn't do it on this one. I threw a few of the little dots in just for something different. And I'm going to do blue on this yellow one. These little rings are made out of some kind of a papery stuff. I hesitate to say they're just paper, but they're not. I don't think they're plastic either. I think there's some kind of treated paper. And we're going to go with yellow on the top of this one and then green on the bottom. I kind of wanted a swoosh thing like on the thumb, but on some of these other ones I got a little carried away putting these rings on there, so they got kind of oddly shaped and a little out of the swoosh kind of pattern. And on this blue one, I'm going to go with the green ones. The green and the yellow ones look very similar once they're on there. When they're laying on my mat, you can see the difference, but once you put them on there, they look almost the same. They really are a neon color, though, when you don't see them on the nails. I'm trying to get that darn little dot off of there, and it wants to stick on my picker-upper tool. And on this yellow one, I think I decided to go with blue, or maybe green. I don't know. Looks like green and blue. Ha! I did a combo. I don't even remember doing that. Oy, oy, oy. Okay, this guy here needed another little bit more. Skosh more on there. Now we're ready to cure that. In they go. Now they're back, and we're going to give them another layer of base coat, and it should lay on there better now since it's going to be sticking to itself. And for the most part it is. It's weird how the different brands of polish and whatnot don't like to play well together. Okay, now I'm going to use these neon flowers. Now those are the same neon that the rings were. You just can't really see them that well once they get on the nail. Now I'm going to be using yellow, blue, and green flowers, and I'm going to match them to the color of the rings that are on whatever nail I'm working on at the time. I was having issues getting them off of the picker-upper because the wax end of that is so soft that everything just wants to stick on it. And I'm just plopping them on here kind of in the row of the rings, and overlapping on some of them. And now I'm starting to get out of shot, so I'm not sure. At one point I had to cut this off because I was out of shot too much and you couldn't see anything. So hopefully my edit got rid of that. You can still see a little bit. I don't know how I keep managing to get so far out. I even raised my like the pole thing that the phone is attached to. I even raised it up some so that it would cover a bigger area and I wouldn't be out of frame as much, but that's not helped me a whole lot, seems like. There was quite a bit of editing on this one that I had to cut out because it was out of frame. And it's so hot while I'm working, I'm just concentrating on getting done with what I'm doing so I can get out of this room. So I'm not paying as close attention to looking at it to check to see if it's in frame. I will try to do better in the future, guys. Now, for the most part, these are laying down pretty flat. The one on the pinky, okay, we're going to go over them with another coat of base coat. The one on the pinky had some stuff sticking up, so I had to use my LED flashlight to mash it down or get it cured on there. That's why some of the flowers, that flower on the left is kind of out of whack. It was over towards the middle farther, but during that curing process it slid over. So that one's kind of solidly full. Now I did put a hefty base coat on these and they're going into cure. And now we're going over them now with a layer of top coat, a hefty layer of top coat, the tempered top coat, and I'm going to do 2 layers of this, but I'm only going to show one because I wanted those sealed in really well and totally encapsulated, so that I ended up with nothing sticking up and nothing going to come off. And we're going to cure those as soon as I let them do that. Now we got to do the file and buff routine. Now there really wasn't much on these that was making them feel rough or anything, but I wanted to get my side shapes back and I wanted to just smooth them out somewhat. Now this is the only one I'm going to show you because you guys have seen me do this a million times and I'm sure you know how to do it. But now I've done the rest off camera. I did lose a tiny bit on a couple of the flowers where they were sticking up a little, but not enough to really be noticeable. Since they're not glitter, if you file off part of the glitter, you file the colored part off, and then you're left with these shiny, usually silvery glitter metal bits that you can see, and then it looks terrible. But with these things, the part that got filed off is just gone. So some places there might be a half a flower or part of a flower, but at least they don't look too bad. Anyway, there they are, all finished, easy peasy. If you like them, please give me a like. It really helps me a lot. And if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. I upload new tutorial every Saturday. Hopefully my stuff will come in, so next week I'll know what I'm doing. If not, we'll be doing another set on the fly. So stay tuned to find out. See you guys next time. Stay cool. Bye-bye.